All right, we are recording. This is Michael Williams, and I am actually in Long Beach, California this week, meeting with my client, Michael Slavin from Australia. And Michael, I want to thank you so very much for this opportunity to chat with you and talk about your progress so far. So thank you very much.
Okay.
So, Michael, I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and one will be, tell us what was your life like prior to this program? What what was your life like? How did you feel? What were some of the struggles that you had around speech and confidence and so?
Yeah, it's for me it had really been a long-term issue, my speech, ever since I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. But from time to time I've had issues speaking, more so in a formal situation, but also in a social situation. I'd have bad days and good days, but very stressful situations trying to speak both professionally and socially. So um, it was really it has been a great experience for me joining your program. I think it was about 8 weeks ago, and I've seen a massive improvement in my speech since then.
Hmm. So what prompted you? Is it there, you've got some things going on in your life that made you say, okay, wait a minute, I really need to do something about this. Like now, if I want to have a better quality social and professional life.
Yeah, it was more on the professional side of things. I'm a partner in a small accounting practice. There's about 15 or so of us, and we're in the process of merging with a big four accounting firm. And the discussions about that all started maybe 3 months ago.
Mhm.
And I thought, I need a way to improve my speech. I've had to persevere with it for so long that I looked around and I found you online. And I can't recall if I saw an interview that you did with a previous client or something like that. But I immediately got the impression that it was a different sort of program. I've done other programs in the past, like smooth speech or very slow speech therapy, and with very limited success. So I saw your program as being one that really understood the issues that we have with our speech, and provided a mechanism or the tools to deal with that. So it really resonated with me. I understood it, and it's working for me.
Great, great, great. So let's talk about some of your experiences. I want to go back just a little bit. You mentioned that you had an experience and your wife kind of said something to you. She said that you're looking or acting differently. Tell me a little bit about that if you remember.
Yes, I do. My wife and three kids. I've got three kids, 13, 12 and 10. And I like to think that I'm not overly stressed at home, but they did notice a difference after I started the formal training with you, Michael. They sort of commented maybe 3 weeks into it that I seem a lot more relaxed and less uh, pressured or stressed generally.
Mm,
So they did notice a big improvement in my demeanour, I guess, and
wow.
how I was behaving. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned to me, I want to talk just a little bit about this whole idea of relaxing, and then we're going to talk about uh, the speed of your speech, not just your speech, but most of my clients. Speed is a real issue. You say speed
Yeah,
kills. the,
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't coin
true.
that phrase, but let's talk
That's
about
true.
being relaxed. Now, you said that that's been extremely helpful for you, and that there's been times where you had a big meeting coming up, you were in your hotel room and you were listening to audio. So tell me about how the audio listening and the being relaxed has helped you.
Yeah, the There's a lot of audio. There's a lot of different audio that you provide and assistance for improving speech. But I find the relaxation is the most beneficial to me. I need to relax both before and during speaking, as you say. And I've found that that gets me on the right track before I start. So if I have a difficult, or as I perceive, a difficult uh, 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 speaking situation, I'll listen to that relaxation audio more than anything else. But
Mm-hmm.
I listen to the audio every day. If I'm in the car, I'd probably spend an hour a day in the car, so I have the audio on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe I'd have say 4 or 5 hours worth of audio a week at a minimum, or if I'm exercising, I have it in my headphones,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll do some more formal practice on the weekends. But and that's probably another 2 or 3 hours where I record myself and play it back and analyse it, or critically analyse it. And a big issue that I have, and you mentioned that, is the speed. I find that I do speak very quickly, and I've worked hard on trying to reduce the speed. And I do speak more clearly if I slow it down. I've had a lot more success there. So really working hard on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember when we first started, you were going pretty fast, right?
Yeah, that's just how I spoke, and
Right.
other members of my family do too. So I guess that's inbuilt, and it really requires a lot of practice to slow that down. And I think after it's 8 weeks or so, we've been working on that, and it is starting to happen, or I'm on the right track there. But it really, as I said, just have to keep practicing that every day.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I liked about your attitude when we came in is that you weren't expecting miracles. You know, your expectations were very realistic. Some people expect they want to be cured. They want to, even though it says stop stuttering, when we say stop stuttering, we're really talking about creating a new speaking style and a new way of thinking that eventually diminishes the impact of stuttering. It diminishes stuttering speech to the place where you're pretty much speaking like anyone else, and you have disfluencies like anyone else, right? Everyone has
Yes.
disfluencies, but it doesn't impact them. They don't think about it, right? So your attitude, your expectations coming into this were a little different than some other. What were your expectations when you came into this?
Well, I think as you've said in your question, uh, the expectations were that there was no miracle cure for this. If there is a miracle cure, or if that were available, we'd all go out there and buy that or do that. So,
Hmm.
and as I said, I've been struggling with this for so long that I know there's no real quick fix. So my expectations were to learn the way, or the ways in which I can improve my speech, and give me something to revert to, or to develop a style that would help to overcome my uh, issues with speech. So, yeah, I think you have to be realistic about it. There is no miracle cure. You just need to practice a new way of speaking, and this is working for me. So, but as we've discussed, it requires a lot of determination and hard work, and
Hmm.
um, uh, an expectation that you'll improve. But you'll always have to manage your speech, and I think everyone out there has to manage their speech. Even good speakers have to be uh, working on ways to make them more fluent, or more clear. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's a thing for everyone, but more so for people with fluency issues.
Yeah, it's something that you want to stay on top of, and the way that I say it is, as long as you're out there looking for and creating opportunities to communicate, to speak, right? To speak, to
Yeah.
communicate, to captivate people, to capture them, to communicate your ideas, to serve them. As long as you're out there doing that all the time, then your speech will continue to improve. Beyond just not stuttering, but you will, and actually you are becoming an exceptional speaker, like better than average. And I think you
Yeah.
probably can now look around and see people and say, wow, this person, they actually speak very fast, or they're not real clear, or they're kind of choppy. You know?
Yes, I've noticed that over the last month or two that you really analyse other people's styles a lot more than I did previously. I thought everyone else was a lot better than I am, so just made that assumption. But now that I'm learning other techniques or new techniques, then I'm becoming more critical, I guess, in my own mind about how other people speak, and I guess learning from that, learning what not to do or what I can improve on by listening to other people. So that's been good.
Yeah. So just two other questions, and then we'll wrap it up. But one you've kind of touched on, and that is, what's your daily routine? Because I want people to understand, man, you got to be at this every day for now, like not forever, but you got to really immerse yourself in this. So what do you do on a regular basis, and how much time do you do?
Yeah, I'm an early starter, so usually first thing in the morning, 6 a.m., I do the formal practice at home for an hour where I record myself. I mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And there was part of the audio or the video that you asked me to memorize, and I did that and practiced that for a couple of weeks, and I presented that to you maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But then I'll also do other video of myself where I'm, just having a chat about where I'm at with my business or my family or other aspects of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and play that back and analyse how I'm doing. So that's probably an hour each morning for maybe 5 days a week, and then usually on a Sunday afternoon I'll do the same thing for an hour or two as well. And on top of that, as I said earlier, I listen to the audio while I'm driving,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to speak a lot with my work as well. So I'm pretty fortunate there in that I've had the opportunity to be able to practice my new style in work situations or speaking situations at work where I meet new people who don't know me, so they don't have any idea about how I used to speak, or there's no expectation that I speak in a certain way. So I've had the benefit of that practice too, and that's been really good. So that's about the routine, and then I have the weekly meeting with you. So yeah, there's a lot of practice, and I think it has to be sustained in order to get the benefits. You can't expect to only listen to audio for maybe an hour or two a week and expect to improve really quickly. It's not going to happen overnight that way.
Right. And one thing we didn't discuss, but you also do daily affirmations. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, I try to do those. I'm not so regular there, and I need to get better at that. But I need to convince myself that I am an excellent speaker or a clear and confident speaker. And yes, as you recommend, you're best doing those early in the morning and regularly during the day. So I do try to keep up with those, but I could do it more, I think.
Okay.
But the thing I am finding is the more positive speaking experiences I'm having, the more I believe that anyway. So without having to think about it, I'm doing these affirmations. After I speak, I think, wow, that was really good. I had a speaking situation last week. It was quite a formal situation. I had to meet a lot of new people associated with the business I'm merging with.
Yeah.
And I also had to talk about myself and my aspirations and expertise and all these sorts of things. And ordinarily, or in the past, I would have been very stressed about that, really stressed leading up to it and during and after and all sorts of things. But I really surprised myself in that I was more than up to it, and I like to think I did quite well. So, that was a really good experience. And I think as a result of that, that's improved my confidence. And the more of those I can have, the better it will be. So I'm looking for more opportunities and building up to a big opportunity at some stage and looking forward to it. Whereas in the past, I wouldn't have looked forward to it. I would have avoided it as much as I could.
Right. You hit on two things that I want to wrap us up with, and thank you for bringing these two things up because they're absolutely incredible ideas for us to wrap our minds around. One is that as you have more successful speaking experiences, right? I call this the confidence competence cycle. As you become more competent at speaking well, your confidence increases. So now you're not just trying to convince yourself to be confident, you are becoming confident because you are performing well, because you're competent. So it's not just you telling yourself that you can do something, you're actually saying, I did do this. I did do this and I can do it because I did it.
Yeah.
That's profound and that's important.
It is. It's really uplifting too. It's an experience or feeling that's hard to describe or to put into words. So no, it's a really uplifting experience and most enjoyable.
In fact, you told me that that it took you a while to get to sleep after the meetings and the dinner the other night.
A bit of adrenaline running through me, but I was quite excited or very happy with myself, and it was hard to switch off. So no, it was really good, and as I said, I hope there's more to come, and I'm sure there is. I have a couple of other situations upcoming in the next maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm sort of looking forward to those now, or I am looking forward to those now, whereas in the past I would have been very nervous or stressed about them even at this early stage. So,
and that's the other thing I want to say, that you actually are looking forward to and creating and taking advantage of speaking opportunities. So if you're watching this video and you're considering this program, be it the self-study or coaching, understand that you're going to have the courage to actually get out there and create and take advantage of opportunities to use what you're learning. Otherwise, it just simply isn't going to work, right?
Very true. Yes, yeah. It is difficult. I won't deny that, but if you do the practice and really believe in yourself and the program and the skills that you'll learn and that you'll exercise or practice, then it's a really positive experience once you get through it, or even as you're doing it, a real boost for the confidence. So I agree very much.
Well, Michael, thank you very much. As I've always told you, I love what, to me, as a North American, what is your accent. I'm sure that I have an accent as well for you.
You do. You do.
And I absolutely love your accent. So thanks for adding this to my interviews. And I'm going to enjoy watching and listening. And we're going to do it again later. We'll focus on something else, but I just wanted to do this now because you've got a lot of stuff happening, and I wanted to capture that right now while it's happening. What would you tell someone who's considering the coaching or even the self-study? I know that you're doing the coaching, but it's all the same program. But what would you consider someone that's considering the Pro 90D speech system?
Well, I think as I touched on, you really need to do the practice. It really needs to be a commitment that you make, and you need to believe in the program and give it a real go, not just think, well, this will hopefully work for me, but not really putting the effort in. But and I think the program is unique in that you in the past had issues with your speech, Michael, so you understand very much the issues that we deal with or that we're dealing with in relation to our speech. So the program really comes from a person that knows what we need to do in order to improve our speech. So, but if you do enroll in the course or you do download the material, really give it a go and make a full commitment to improving your speech by doing the practice every day and listening to the audio and watching the videos as much as you can. my recommendation anyway. Yeah.
Thank you, Michael, and we will see you again soon.
Okay. Thank you.